This is your morning jolt. Happy Monday, everyone. Full week, back at work, no more holidays for a little while. Let's get back to the grind. I got 3 things you need to know to get your market day started right and hopefully make a ton of money and not get your face ripped off. First up, these markets. The bulls are in control. Futures have been strong throughout the whole night into the morning. Everybody's keying off the strong inflationary May employment report, but listen, the bears certainly have an argument to be won here. First of all, the May employment report was inflationary. The unemployment rate, 3.8%, ridiculously low. You know, I talked to Dunkin' Donuts CEO Nigel Travis. He's saying they're having trouble finding workers. Inflationary, Federal Reserve could raise rates quicker than anybody thinks, but right now the market doesn't care about that. Next case for them, the bears, the G7 at the end of the week. How can anything positive come out of that, given all of the Trump administration's efforts on tariffs? Be cautious here. Don't be so quick to buy into the bull thesis. You might get your face ripped off. Next up, names on the street. I am starting to love this segment. Boeing CEO Dennis Muhlenberg, he stopped by last week, and we're still putting out segments from that interview, so check him out on the street. He is bullish. He said he got a peek at the 2018/2019 defense budget, and he's bullish on spending. And that's ultimately very, very good for Boeing. In the first quarter, sales from their defense business up 13%, operating profits up to 18%. They have a $50 billion backlog in the defense business. I think off of Muilenburg's comments, you better watch defense stocks like Action Alerts Plus Holdings, Lockheed Martin. Very bullish comments from Boeing CEO there to the street. Next up, I got Whitney Tilson coming into the office today. We're talking to him around 11 o'clock. He was a former hedge fund manager. He closed up his fund in September 2017 amid years of falling returns. At his peak, he managed about $200 million, but he was always a big name in the industry, and he kind of still is. Big time on value investing. He's a big fan of Warren Buffett. I have lots of questions to ask him. Definitely going to ask him about Tesla. I think that's one name he shorted, but ultimately got out of. So I'm excited to hear about him. And then Jim Chanos versus Dunkin' Brands. Dunkin' Brands, Nigel Travis, was in the office, the Street's office last week. I sat down and talked with him at length. We talked about Jim Chanos' short selling campaign against Dunkin' Brands. Travis, he obviously shot that down. Jim Chanos fired off at least 15 emails to me in my inbox before the interview. That segment will hit the street sometime today. Suffice to say, Dunkin' sees it one way, and Chanos sees it the other way. Such is the life of short selling. Next up, what's hot on the street? Apple's worldwide developer conference that kicks off in the afternoon. Our newest tech reporter, Annie Gauss, I'm very excited that she's joining the team. She'll be on the ground covering the event. Follow her at Annie Gauss on Twitter. She'll have all the updates, the periscopes, everything you need to know to, 1, be entertained, and 2, to make a ton of money, I think, off of Apple. What Apple could release at the event. Probably a whole bunch of software upgrades. Interestingly, their stocks app might get an update. So for us in stocks land, that's pretty exciting. Next up, I got 10 stocks, or actually Goldman Sachs has 10 stocks you need to take a look at. I just posted that story on the street. 10 stocks, big names, mostly big cap, a lot of tech. I'm not telling you any names. I want you to actually read it and learn from it, and that's where we're at. And lastly, lesson of the day. The morning jolt lesson of the day comes from the Street's founder, Jim Cramer. No surprise there. He's just a wealth of knowledge on the markets and investing. He has his lessons, his 25 commandments. Sorry for the stall there. There's so many thoughts in my head right now with these markets. But 25 commandments, Jim's legendary investment approach to investing. The Street will be rolling out one a day for the next 24 days. We released our first one last Friday, and it's up on the Street's homepage. Bulls make money, pigs get slaughtered. I'm not going to tell you what this is about. That's one of Jim's most legendary sayings and approaches to investing you need to know about. Phenomenal video put on by the Street's video team with Jim talking about it and what it means and how to play it and what it doesn't mean. So, as always, thanks for joining, and be sure to sign up for the Morning Jolt newsletter. Go up on the top of the Street's homepage. I don't feel like reading the link right now. Have a great rest of the day.